Canada's population grew by 1 million people last year. Somebody at Canada Statistics could not count, and we're going to be diving deep into that article for today's reaction video. The other articles we'll be going over is Doug Ford plans to build 1.5 million homes by 2031, which we're new, but it's already in trouble. Dun, dun, dun. And then the last article we got here is Canada needs 300,000 new rental units to avoid quadrupling by 2026. Nothing looks good right now for how many homes we need. That's what I'll be breaking down in this week's episode of the Prime Property video. Now, if you are looking for some help on how to navigate this real estate market, whether it's buying, selling, or investing, because the market is kind of shifting right now. I don't want to use the word rebound per se, but the demand has been there and the stuff to buy is definitely not there right now. So things are shifting. And if you want to work with our team so you actually know what's going on and get an information advantage, you can book a call with me using the link that's right here, www.chatwithzen.com. Simply click on the date and a time that works best for you. And then when you see the prompt, fill in your name, email, mobile phone number, and the question you have for me, and then we'll chat then. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Properties TV. My name's Zhen, and I run and operate a RE/MAX in the Greater Toronto area on top of making awesome educational real estate content, just like this one. And if you do like our content, make sure help me spread the knowledge by smashing that like button and subscribing to the Prime Property channel so that we can get that information out there to people so they understand what is actually happening in the real estate market as opposed to just, reading headlines. Anyways, the first article we'll be going over to today is Canada's population grows by over 1 million for the first time. That is a bonkers number. For context as to why we were talking about this is our government, the red one, announced that we're going to have 450,000 new immigrants. So this is permanent residents. Cool, not a problem. Announced that like a year ago. People were getting kind of bullish on the real estate market. Sure. Last year in the fall, they came out with a report that 870,000 people, so almost doubled, which includes permanent residents, temporary workers, and students, came into the country. Now, 3 months later, oops, Stats Canada couldn't count. We had 1,050,000 people come into the country last year. Yeah, 1,050,000. Let that just sink in for a sec. We more than doubled what the predicted amount was. It grew for 1 million for the first time. Where are all these people going to be housing? Where's all the health care that we need for them? We have plenty of jobs apparently, and they're taking a lot of them, but that's kind of it. And the amount of people that came in is equivalent to growing the population by 2.7%. Yeah, honestly, we should probably dial it back a little bit because something is going to break here. But I understand why they're doing this because I go here. Basically, this is saying that Canada's decision to counter the economic drag, which is exactly what they're doing, the growing kind of age of the population and the amount of kids that the people that are here are having, needs to be kind of covered up with economic growth by new immigration. The problem is we are just driving the nominal, meaning the total amount of GDP, by letting a lot of people come in. And don't get me wrong, I'm an immigrant. I wasn't born here. I came here like 25 years ago, right? But the problem right now is that the GDP per person is going down, but the total GDP is going up, which means that while it looks good on paper, the lifestyle of the people in Canada is getting reduced. That's kind of what it ultimately means, right? Now, we're at 39 million people. That's a lot of people. Next year we'll probably, or maybe at the end of this year, we'll probably clear 40 million, which is quite a lot of people, right? Now, from a real estate perspective, let's just assume 40% of these people come into Canada, so that's 450,000, give or take, right, coming into Ontario. Let's say more than half of them, call it 300,000, come into the southern part of Ontario, the Golden Horseshoe. That's a lot of homes we need to build, and we don't have enough, right? So that's what the next two articles are about. The problem I have with a lot of this right now, and it may seem like a very bullish case, is you have to keep remember, right? Like new immigrants, most of them don't come here with bags of cash. Well, they do come with bags of cash, but like not like bags of cash to buy property like right away. And there's a limit restriction and what they can and cannot buy right now with the new kind of foreign ban rule. But what happens is it takes about 2 to 3 years for a lot of these new immigrants to get PR, have a credit history, and then actually buy a property. So right now that's going to be piling on top of the kind of the already kind of coldish, kind of hot rental market, which I'll be talking more about in Thursday's video. And it's not looking like it's going to be, any kind of relief on the rental side. Now, from the resale side, like I was saying earlier, it's going to be a long-term kind of like tailwind, meaning it's going to be beneficial for the bears, for real estate in the long term. Like I've always been saying, short term, we got to look at inventory, medium term, let's look at the rates, and then long term, we got to look at population. This is great for long term because what's going to happen is we're not building anything right now because the interest rates are high. Nobody's investing into like new homes. And then in like 4 to 5 years, when we need more new homes, but maybe the interest rates are lower, we have a whole bunch of people that need more homes. So that's going to be basically a housing crisis, and maybe a pretty wild swing in terms of price going upwards may happen because of this, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. Call it like in the next, I don't know, like 12 to 18 months, okay? Now, the second article we got here is Doug Ford plans to build 1.5 new homes by 2031. He's already in trouble, according to the budget. So we already knew they're planning to build 1.5 million homes over the next 10 years, so about 150,000 per year. And right now saying that the budget estimates that there's about 80,000 new housing starts, which means we're already behind. 150,000 per year, 80,000, that means we're 70,000 homes behind already. The projections also marked a setback from 2022 when 96,000 new homes were built, the second highest number since 1988. So we've talked about this before, right? Like I'm all for, let's build a lot of new homes. I'm kind of optimistic, but there's so much kind of like bottlenecking issues, whether it be permits, the delays, the labor, the materials, all of it is not in our favor to build that many homes. So if you think about what this line over here says, it says that we built 96,000 last year, right? Which is 54,000 less than what we need for 1.5 for the next 10 years. So that's the second highest amount of homes we built since 1988, which means that's about 35 years ago. So last year we built the second most amount of homes in the last 35 years, but we need to build another 50,000 or another 33% of what we built last year for the next 10 years just to meet that 1.5 million homes by 2031 so that we can have affordability back in the market. You tell me in the comment section below, do you think that's going to happen? I'm an optimist. I'm an eternal optimist, but I'm partially a realist and that doesn't look like it's going to happen. Yeah. So why do you think maybe people are holding on to their properties? We have an inherent problem that's looming over us in the next 3 to 5 years. It's very, very obvious. Now, the last article we got here is Canada needs 300,000 new rental units to avoid gap quadrupling by 2026. So what they're saying here is that to reach an optimal vacancy rate, which is 3%, that's what they're saying, okay? Currently, right now, it's 1.9. So we're below it, meaning that the amount of empty homes is much lower than what there should be because there's a lot of people picking them up because there is some rental demand, right? And they're saying that we need to add 332,000 units over the next 3 years, which would be an annual increase of 20%. Look, I don't know where these guys are getting the numbers from because if, compared to the 70,000 that we built last year, 20% times 3 is still not 330,000, but I digress. We clearly know we're not building enough homes, no matter what metric you use, whatever, right? It's just bad news bear. Now, the problem I have with a lot of this and like why they're saying like, things can be affordable, the amount of homes that are coming onto the market, they're not going to be affordable by everyone's metric, okay? Let me explain that. The person who needs homes that are on like an minimum wage or average wage probably needs rents that are $1,800 for 3 bedrooms. That's effectively subsidized homes. And the public sector, meaning the government, hasn't built any homes in like a decade, which they say down here, right? Yeah, basically you haven't seen any additional purpose-built inventory in almost a decade. So it's been relying on the private sector, meaning the condos. So when a lot of people are complaining, hey, I don't want pre-construction or high-rise buildings here, if you stop those, you basically don't even have the private sector bringing apartments. The thing about the private sector is, very capitalistic in nature. It's going to be market rent, and market rents are going to keep climbing higher because we're just not building enough and we're letting so many people into the country, as you can see, right? So it's a very inherent problem that we have, and we're just basically kicking the can down the road, and we keep talking about affordability, but realistically, affordable means something different for everybody, right? And I've been saying this for a long time. For a person that's maybe a young professional making 6 figures, affordable means they want to be able to buy like a 3-bedroom home, like a town home, so they can raise their family in Toronto, which is not possible. With the $100,000 salary, you're looking at a condo right now. So affordable means something totally for every single person. And I would say at almost every single extremity, affordable is unaffordable for most people right now because homes are that expensive right now and people need roof over their head. And that's kind of why I've been saying for a very, very long time, like, all this stuff that's happening in the short term, yeah, it can fluctuate up and down, but we inherently clearly can tell that because we let so many people in, It's a long-term tailwind for real estate that things are going to be better in the long term. It's just the short term, you kind of have to survive it, especially for the investors out there. And then for all the people that are looking to buy like the home that they're trying to raise a family in, or maybe like upsize or something, just think about where you're moving into. Are they still building those type of homes in that area? And if the answer is no, and people are trying to move into that area, it's probably going to go up in price. It's very simple supply dynamics. Now, if you're going to an area where there is potentially more homes that are being built, will they still go up in price? Maybe. It just really depends on what they're selling it for, right? So that's something that you guys really should consider when you're looking at affordability and whether you should be making a move in this real estate market right now. Now, if you do kind of want to make a move in the real estate market and you're not sure if you should make that move right now because of the market dynamics and interest rates, or you don't know like the pros and cons of making a move now or later, you could book a call with me to kind of discuss your personal situation on whether that actually makes sense or not. And you can do so by going to the link right here. It's www.chatwithzen.com. Until next time, your move, your future. See ya! Now that I'm done watching this video, I think you should check out this video. And you know what? Why don't you check out this video too?